Okay, let's be real for a second. If you have ever felt like just opening a textbook is a form of mild torture, you are definitely not alone. Welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to completely flip your perspective on studying. Seriously, we're going to use a little psychology to hack your brain and make learning actually more addictive than your favorite video game. Get ready because we've got some incredibly fun, colorful, and wildly effective strategies coming your way.
So here is our game plan for today. We'll start with the brain's reward problem, and then we'll work our way through 5 epic levels to level up your learning. We're talking romanticizing your space, gamifying your learning, bundling your temptations, the Feynman technique, and we'll wrap it up with the cliffhanger effect.
All right, kicking things off with the brain's reward problem and exactly why scrolling always seems to win.
We have all been there, right? You open your phone just for 2 minutes to check a single message, and then suddenly you are deeply, emotionally invested in a video of a raccoon stealing cat food. Meanwhile, your homework is just sitting there on your desk, totally ignored, basically judging you. But here's the thing. It's not that you're lazy, and your brain definitely isn't broken. It's actually just a problem with the game you're playing.
Think about it like this. Social media operates on what psychologists call variable rewards. It gives your brain these fast, unpredictable, really cute surprises pretty much instantly. Studying, on the other hand, is a delayed reward system. You read a super dry chapter on photosynthesis, and your reward is, well, maybe getting a good grade in 3 weeks. To your brain, that is like being promised a single cookie next Tuesday. It's just not going to cut it. We have to redesign the game.
So let's get into it. Level 1, romanticize your space and set the stage for success.
Have you noticed how millions of students are currently using those Study With Me videos to focus? Researchers from KAIST University actually looked into this phenomenon, and it's fascinating. It turns out, viewers are basically borrowing the focused, distraction-free virtual presence of other people to self-regulate their own learning. It essentially gives you this sense of controllable peer pressure and emotional support, but completely without the stress of an actual crowded library.
You really have to make your study space a place you genuinely want to hang out in. Take a cue from Maria, a 17-year-old from Texas. She went from totally dreading homework to actually looking forward to it just by adding some fairy lights and a cozy chair. You can declutter your desk, throw on some lo-fi or maybe some video game instrumental music, and bring in a little plant. It's all about reducing that mental friction. If your environment screams stress, your brain is going to run for the hills. But if it screams cozy coffee shop vibes, your brain is going to settle right in.
Moving right along to level 2, gamify your learning and hack your dopamine.
I love this quote from Ryan, a 16-year-old who used to really struggle with algebra. He realized that treating every correct answer as a level up triggers the exact same dopamine release as playing an actual video game. When studying feels like a game, your brain releases those feel-good chemicals that just make you want to keep pushing forward.
And you can instantly gamify your own life. Give yourself a set amount of points for every chapter you read. Set up a leaderboard with your friends, like 5 points to Gryffindor for every quadratic equation you solve. You can even rename your subjects. Maybe chemistry becomes potions class. Or use an app like Forest, where you grow virtual trees when you focus, and if you touch your phone, the tree withers. If you give your brain immediate, fun feedback, the boredom completely vanishes.
Which brings us to level 3, bundle your temptations, or the Netflix and cycle hack.
The secret sauce here is a psychological concept called Premack's principle. And in plain English, that basically means making your guilty pleasures work for you. You take a behavior that you really want to do, and you strictly link it to a behavior that you usually procrastinate on.
This is how you build a temptation bundle. My absolute favorite example of this is Ronan Byrne. He was an electrical engineering student in Dublin who actually hacked his stationary bike so that Netflix would only play if he kept pedaling. Literally, if he slowed down, his show paused. You can map out your own bundle just like that. Maybe you only get to listen to your favorite true crime podcast while you're doing math problems. Or hey, place a single Skittle at the bottom of every page of your textbook, and you only get the treat when the page is done.
Next is level 4, the Feynman technique, because teaching is the ultimate test. So keep this magical number in your head, 85%. Author Scott H. Young points out that studying is actually the most enjoyable when you keep your success rate right at 85%. What that means is your work is challenging enough that you don't get bored, but easy enough that you don't get incredibly frustrated and just rage quit. If you find that sweet spot, you enter a true state of flow.
To consistently hit that sweet spot and truly master a subject, you use the Feynman technique. Here is your challenge. Try to explain a really complex topic out loud in 60 seconds, exactly as if you were talking to a 12-year-old. No jargon allowed at all. If you stumble, or if you find yourself falling back on big, confusing words, it exposes exactly where your knowledge gaps are. Just pretend you're hosting your own YouTube documentary right there in your room. Because when you teach, your brain is forced to organize the information instead of just passively recognizing it on a page.
And finally, level 5, the cliffhanger effect. Always leave them wanting more.
Now, most people will study until they are completely exhausted and totally frustrated. But here's the catch. Your brain remembers the ending of an event. If you end angry, tomorrow's study session is going to feel like a massive mountain to climb. Enter the Zeigarnik effect. This psychological principle proves that we actually remember interrupted or unfinished tasks much better than completed ones. So, deliberately stop studying while you still have a little bit of energy left. Leave one math problem half finished. Your brain is going to obsess over it like a crazy Netflix cliffhanger, and it will actually pull you back to your desk the next day.
The students who seem naturally gifted or highly disciplined, they aren't just relying on raw motivation to get through the day. They are actively designing systems that make their brains literally choose studying over scrolling. They reduce friction, they create fun challenges, and they reward their own progress. Because at the end of the day, fun isn't something you just randomly discover. It is something you design.
So I have a challenge for you. Don't try to change your entire life all at once tonight. Just pick one of these crazy hacks to deploy tomorrow. Are you going to buy some fairy lights? Maybe teach biology to an imaginary 12-year-old? Pick just one and finally switch your brain over to the winning team. Thanks so much for joining today's Explainer, and have an awesome time designing your next study session.